Hi guys, today we are going to be playing with a palette that I don't think is available anymore. I'm so sorry, but I'm so excited for this and I know that a lot of you wanted to see a look with this as well. So I'm gonna make a video out of it. This is not going to be a review probably. I mean, I'm probably gonna tell you how I feel about the palette anyway, but I'm just excited to play with it. So Alien Cosmetics sent me their newest palette and this is called the Witching Hour palette. This I guess was their Halloween palette. I got my PR quite late, so that is probably why this, I don't know if this is sold out or if it's coming back. It's not on their website, it's not listed at all, so I'm guessing it's probably not coming back, but I mean, look at this palette, look at this color story. Isn't this so beautiful? I'm so inspired by this and I cannot wait to just do a look and like try out this palette. I've had such good luck with Alien Cosmetics and I'm so grateful that they keep sending me things because all of their products are just amazing. I've said in a previous video, I don't know if that has gone up yet, but they are in the process of rebranding, so they are going to be changing their name from Alien Cosmetics to something else, which I don't know if I know yet, but I just wanted to let you know. I think that all of the products, at least until the beginning of next year, is still going to be called, or like the brand is still going to be called Alien Cosmetics, but they are working on changing their name. I just wanted to let you know in case it's something that you're curious about. So that's why they don't have a ton of products on their website as of this very moment, but we're gonna be trying out this palette and I'm gonna create a look with it, and hopefully at least after watching this video you're not gonna end up spending any money because of me, because I know sometimes I'm bad influence, I'm sorry, but hopefully it's good influence in that, you know, I make you buy stuff that you actually end up loving. That is like the whole point of my channel, is that I just want you to be happy with your purchases and buy things that are amazing and makes you as happy as the products make me. So we're gonna just play with this palette. I'm super excited, like I said. So since this isn't going to be like a review, I want to test out the new primer that I bought. This one is from Rephr Beauty, and I'm not going to be judging the eyeshadows too harshly because I am going to be using a new primer, but I know that a lot of you said that you wanted to see how this performed, so I'm just going to start. So far it looks like it has quite a bit of coverage. Some people have said that this doesn't have that much coverage, but we're going to see like how it blends out. I know some primers go on like this and then they kind of blend out sheerly. So let's see. Yeah, this definitely has enough coverage that I'm like very happy about it. I definitely prefer coverage in my eyeshadow primers here. It's a little bit like thicker, I would say, to blend out than my Natasha Denona one. It does seem to smooth out very nicely though. I like the color of it. It maybe could have been like a little bit darker, or yeah, a little bit darker. I feel like it's maybe a little bit too light for what I like in my eyeshadow primer, but it is going to make the shadows pop. But it's blending out very nicely and it looks very smooth on the lid so far. It's definitely covering everything that I needed to cover. Like if I had any kind of staining, I'm pretty confident that it would cover the staining on my eyes. So let me just kind of go ahead and feel this. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel as like wet and tacky. It feels a little bit more like, it kind of feels like the MAC Paint Pot. Like it's way more of a dry consistency, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on how the colors will stick to it. So let's see. One of the things I really like about this palette is that the pans are actually magnetic compared to their other palettes, which I don't think any of them had that on them, so that's really cool. And I'm super excited about these two shimmers. This one swatched quite a little bit chunky, and it's a little bit hard pressed into the pan, and I feel like all of these were like quite hard pressed into the pan. Even some of the mattes didn't swatch the best. These two up here swatched a little bit sheerly. This one felt like, it almost felt like it had hard pan without having hard band, like the first time that I touched it. So I'm not sure how easy this is going to be able to get onto my lids. I don't know if I want to use it today though, because like I said, this isn't going to be a review. So I think that my main focus is going to be this shade and maybe this shade. I'm thinking I want to do this as my lid shade and this as my inner corner shade. And maybe I just want to do like a purple and kind of cranberry look with like a green in a corner or something like that. I don't want to do anything too crazy today. Maybe I will pull in the orange as well. Maybe that could be kind of fun and use like these three mattes and then these two shimmers. Let's kind of have that as a plan. So I'm going to start with the orange matte here, which is called Grimoire. Definitely picks up very nicely despite being, just kind of looking at my eyeshadow primer while I was in the middle of a sentence. It's definitely creased a little bit, but that is very normal for most eyeshadow primers to crease on me. So I'm just going to tap it out and we'll see what happens. I'm going to use this in the front portion of my crease, probably take it about halfway or so, and then I will go in with the other shadows after. this color story to me is so fun. I really like the brightness of it. And even though it's very bright, it's still kind of, it's like still very Halloween, I feel like. I feel like they nailed it with a theme on this. I obviously prefer if there would be like a black in this palette. That is just me. But this is going on very pigmented. I feel like the shadows aren't sticking as well right away on top of this primer as it is on my Natasha Denona one. But again, it could be because it's a little bit of a drier formula, so we'll see kind of how it performs when I start building and stuff as well. It's always interesting to me to try a new primer when I've used the same one for such a long time. I probably shouldn't be using like a new palette to test out a new primer, but I'm still just like super curious. So maybe next time I'm filming something that's not with a new palette, I can do one primer on one eye and one on the other, or I could just make it into a separate video. Let me know if you are like really interested in a review on the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, and I can definitely do that because I do like doing those kind of videos. I find them to be very interesting. But just upon like first application here, I don't think this is going to become my favorite primer, but it also could be the eyeshadow, so I'm not going to judge it. Next, I'm going to go into this shade here, which is called Scrying. Just going to use my same brush, and that's basically going to go in the rest of my crease, and then I'm going to use the purple to deepen it up with, and then we're going to put some shimmers on the lid. This is a beautiful color. That is so pretty. Not having many problems like blending out colors on top of this. I feel like it's blending quite smoothly. It's not taking too much work. So I'm not sure yet what I want to do underneath my eye. I'm going to go into the purple, which is called Potion, and I'm going to start that in the outer corner of my eye. This one swatched quite badly, and again, it's pretty hard pressed into the pan. I do have to kind of dig in there, which isn't really a problem as long as the shadow ends up performing. And it does seem like it's building quite nicely on top of that cranberry shade here. I'm gonna layer this a little bit onto my lid as well because I think that that purple is gonna look really nice layered over the top and just make for like a really nice gradient. Yeah, this is looking very nice. I think I'm gonna take some of this underneath my eye as well, just so I can kind of connect everything together. I have to admit though, this is definitely not my favorite purple in my collection. It's quite sheer and it's taking a lot of dips into the pan to just get enough product onto my eye just because of how hardly pressed this shadow is. But if you are patient, you can definitely get this to be nice and built up and nice and opaque, but I do prefer mattes that are a little bit more pigmented just right off the bat and something that does have a little bit more, not necessarily kick up in the pan, but just something that's not as hard pressed. But that is just personal preference. I know some people like to take it a lot slower than I do. I just like to slap it all onto my eye as quickly as possible and then just blend it out and be out the door. But the eyeshadow primer is definitely performing well. I'm not having any issues there. So under my eye, I'm gonna probably just do the same thing. I'm gonna go into the cranberry shade here and just put that in the middle. And then instead of using the matte in the front portion, I'm probably gonna use the orange because I kind of just wanna test it out. So I'm just gonna perfect the blends a little bit. Gonna go back into the orange and make sure that this is blended together. Taking a little bit of the cranberry shade as well, just to bring this back right in my crease. And then for what I'm guessing is gonna be the star of the show, we're gonna use some shimmers, but of course I am going to put down some of my NYX glitter primer first because I cannot help myself. It's what I do with all of my shimmers and it always just really makes them pop here. So I'm not sure if I want to use the green anymore, but I kind of also do want to use the green. So we'll see how it sort of ends up looking once I've gotten the purple on my lid and the orange under my eye. Maybe I want to use some of it in my inner corner, but I may or may not depending on how this ends up looking. Maybe I just want this to be like a nice sort of sunsetty look. So I'm gonna take the purple up here, which is called Magic. Just taking it on the same brush here, and I'm just gonna put that basically all over my lid and just blend it out into the outer corner. So this is definitely more of a sort of sheer formula, but that is why I wanted to put down the purple on most of my lid as well, just so that when it layers over, the color just comes out even more. That is beautiful. That is really, really pretty. And with the glitter primer too, like it definitely becomes way more intense. You could probably use this as way more of a topper shade as well if you didn't go in with any kind of a base underneath, but you guys know me. I'm not really about those topper shades that just have like a little bit of sparkle to them. Like I want all of it. And I definitely feel like the shadow is giving me everything that I need because this is looking really nice. And I'm also not having any problems picking this shadow up on a brush. I am curious to see about the orange though, because I did feel like that one was definitely harder pressed. Try not to make the line in my crease there too sharp. I do want this to look more like a blended look than a half cut crease. So I'm just making sure I'm like tapping a little bit of this into my crease as I go as well. Just taking the brush that I used purple with and just going over the edge with the matte. And then I'm grabbing another pencil brush, of course from Rephr, and I'm gonna take the shade called Sigil, which is the orange shimmer. And yeah, I'm having a little bit of a hard time just picking this up. I have to really dig into the pan to get any kind of pigment onto my brush, but I think it's gonna be okay, at least just for underneath my eye, because I don't want too much of this, but it is a little bit hard to just get what I want onto my brush here. And this is like a brush that I can really dig into the pan with as well, because it's kind of stiff and small, but it does look really, really pretty. I do think though that I would struggle to, you know, cover my whole lid with this shade, just because it is a bit of a struggle to just get it to do what it is that I want it to do. But I do like it for underneath my eye here as a little bit of an accent. It does look really, really pretty. Now, do I want to use any of the green? I mean, I feel like the answer is yes, because it's just gonna go. Like, my hair is green, so it's just gonna go. It doesn't matter what I pair it with. So since I can't help myself, I might regret this. I'm gonna take the shade called Curse because it just looks so beautiful, and I'm just curious, okay? So I'm just gonna swirl my brush in there. This one definitely picks up a lot better. I'm gonna spray this because I do want this to be nice and intense. But I'm not going to use a lot of it. I'm just going to put it like right in my inner corner right here, and then just blend it into my lid shade as well as underneath my eye, just for like a little pop of green. I think that was a good choice. I think I like this. I'm going to go ahead and finish off. Do I want to keep wearing this lipstick? Maybe. I'm going to go ahead and finish off, and if I change, obviously you will know. Okay, so the look is done, and as you can probably tell, you're like, Annette, why are you wearing caterpillars on your lashes? Because I felt like wearing lashes today, okay? And I totally forgot like how big the ones I'm wearing are. These are from Glamlight. It's their fry lashes. When I put them on, I was like, geez, like that's a lot, but I don't know. I kind of like them too. Like it's such a process for me to try to put on lashes. It's like traumatic, okay? Like I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. I've been saying that for years. And like obviously the reason why I'm not very good at it yet is because I don't keep doing it. But I really do like how they look, and I think they're fun once in a while. And you know, if I have a day where I know I don't have to go anywhere, so like if I mess up my makeup, it's fine. Maybe I'll just like try to wear them a little more often, because I do really like how they look. And I think that, I don't know, they do add a little extra something to a look. Not that I want to be wearing lashes every day for the rest of my life, but once in a while, I think it's kind of fun, and I do like it. And I think that this look is really, really pretty. I love these eyeshadows so far. I mean, like I said, the purple, not my favorite purple in my collection, but I think in general, like this palette is really, really nice, and I'm super happy to have it in my collection. And I'm so happy that these are magnetic, because I'm probably gonna take these out of the packaging at some point, since this is a limited edition palette and it's probably not coming back in stock. I might as well just use them as singles and like save a little bit of room, because this is a very large palette. It's also quite bulky and quite heavy, so maybe I will take them out of the packaging at some point. Not really sure, but I really like how this look turned out. If you want to know what's on the rest of my face, I'm wearing the McGrath blush palette again. I cannot get enough of this. Like I've had it for 4 days and I've used it for the past 3 because I think it's absolutely stunning. This is the dark one. Today I'm wearing these two as well as just a regular bronzer. I could probably put on a little bit more highlight actually, because I didn't go too heavy with it today, but it's just such a beautiful, I love that this isn't like icy. And that's one of the reasons I really wanted to get the darker one, because I didn't want the highlighter to be like too light. And I feel like this is the perfect highlighter for me to like be the same tone as my skin basically, and just make it look like nice and wet and shiny, and I love it. I think it looks so good. And the blushes are so easy to use as well. Like they might look like they're very intense and very pigmented and very dark, but honestly, like I said, I'm using this one today and I was able to share it up beautifully, and I think that this one is really pretty as well. So super happy I bought this. I am tempted to get the lighter one. If I see it in store and I end up swatching it and it looks like it would suit me, probably a chance that I'm gonna end up picking it up, but very happy I have this in my collection. For my lipstick today, where did I put that? I'm using the one that I bought from Gucci. This one right here. This is in the shade Penny Beige, and again, I think this color is so beautiful. I don't know what it is. Like, it almost looks like a yellowy brown in the tube, but on the lips, it just looks like the perfect shade of nudie brown on me. I don't know. I really, really like it. It's such a unique color. I was swatching this up against other nudes in my collection the other day, and I really didn't have anything that even came close to being this color. So I think this was a really, really good choice on my part to pick up that color, even though I wasn't sure at first if I would like it or not. As for the eyeshadow primer, I mean, the look turned out great. I don't think I have any issues with it. I'm definitely gonna have to try it with some formulas that I know I love, because that is going to really show me like how I like this compared to my Natasha Denona one. And I'm also going to be comparing them to each other. So like I said, if you want to see that, let me know. And I think that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you want to see some more Alien Cosmetics content, I guess I will make a playlist and I'll put that up there. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.